Hello, Shivani Ray. Thank you so much for joining the podcast. I'm so excited to talk to you about this subject that I find is such an important subject, financial freedom with young people. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
I want to know a little bit more about yourself and how you got introduced to financial freedom.
Sure. So, a little bit about me is I've been a speaker since the age of 8. I've been a singer songwriter since 15 and created my first album while we were traveling the globe. But to backtrack a little, in 2010, my family had to leave the US. And so we had to make the hard decision to leave. And instead of going back to the UK, where we're actually from, we decided to sell 95% of our stuff, like 90% of our stuff, pack up 4 red bags, and we decided to travel. And during that time of traveling the globe, my sister and I homeschooled, or we like to say global schooled, because frankly, we were traveling so much. And we got to learn about things that were not necessarily taught in the school system. And financial education was one of those things that we realized was not taught, or at least, right now, the schools don't have the resources to teach financial education or financial literacy. And so that really started my whole journey about learning things that were kind of outside of the standardized system. And then later on in 2015, I joined the world's leading gamification company. And I got to learn about how to take game-based elements and education and mix them together so that you're the most immersed, you get the most value out of the things you learn. And so I did that for a period of time. And then a little while ago, I got introduced to financial freedom, and it was a perfect fit because it's one of those things that are missing from the school system, and education, especially education that doesn't get fulfilled by schools, is such a special place in my heart. And so, and the biggest part about it is that it's fun. Money matters oftentimes are heavy and sticky, especially when it comes to the rising numbers of people in debt and dealing with the financial stresses of that. And so the fact that we're here making financial education fun and easy to learn, and frankly, going towards the kids and teens audience, it was a perfect fit.
You couldn't have said it better. And I enrolled my son, and I'm telling you, as soon as he got introduced to it, he's been watching it. And it's such a fun way to learn about something that is extremely important that, as you say, is not in our school systems, unfortunately. I'm going to say yet, not in our school systems yet, because I think more and more people are going to gravitate towards wanting their governors, their, school districts to include this, because it's just extremely important.
It's so important. Everyone's going to have to deal with money at some point in time. And the earlier you start to have these conversations and the earlier you start to actually handle money, the more likely you're going to have, firstly, a much more positive relationship with money, but you'll make smarter money decisions later on.
Exactly. So can you tell us just a little bit more about FUNancial, what their goals are and what they do?
Sure. Yeah, financial freedom is all about helping kids ages 7 to 17. And now, while I say kids ages 7 to 17, frankly, it's for the parents too.
Absolutely.
We have a lot of parents that love our program and learn things from watching our content. But essentially, we have kids content, which is all animated, and we teach everything from where money came from to how to earn money and so on. And we have the teen content, which I deliver, and we go a little bit deeper into some of the financial terminologies and investing. And so that's a little bit about the actual content itself. But what we do as a community is our goal is really to bring about, these kids and teens so that they never have to deal with financial struggle or worry in their life. And too many of us, unfortunately, have that challenge because we weren't taught these things earlier. And so our content in FUNancial, the way we break it down is because it is very simply done, because frankly, there's too much, as I said so many times, there's too much heaviness and people overcomplicated it. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's overcomplicated. It can be so simple if you really get your hands in it and start looking at the simpler side of things. So the way we teach our content is through what we call the LEAP method. And so we teach one thing about money every month, whether it's how to save correctly, or it's where money came from, or the difference between a debit card and credit card. Then we go into we go into earn, and then we teach how you can actually earn money. So kids, how can you actually go and earn money, whether it's a babysitting job or, helping people out with the graphic design, which everybody needs graphics in today's day and age with social media. And we give business ideas so they can actually start to go and earn money. And now that they've earned money, how can they accelerate it? So that's A in LEAP. So how they can actually invest it. What are the different types of investing that they can get into, maybe not now, but in the future. And so we want to set them up for success, which goes into play, which is the P in LEAP. And play is all about it's kind of like tying a bow on top of a gift. It's the final wrapping that makes everything beautiful and work together. And so we go into habit building, goal creation, and all these different things that once you have the rest of the financials in place and you have what we call play in place, you'll be able to live and fully thrive in life.
Yes, I love, one of the things that attracted me to FUNancial is the compassion side of the company. It really feels like a home, something like it's your aunt or uncles that came up with it and are just teaching you in a way that's just for you because they care.
Yeah.
Am I getting that right? Like, do you feel like that's what it's all about as well?
I think it's really just taking away that that feeling of, oh my gosh, it's money, it's
heaviness
finance.
about it. Yeah.
Heaviness is the right word, because that's exactly how you feel when most people talk about money. It's that heaviness and that taboo of not even wanting to talk about money. And we at FUNancial want to make it simple, want to make it easy to understand and easy to implement. Because frankly, it can be easy, and it's just people that overcomplicate it.
Yeah. One last question I want to ask you is, what has been your biggest lesson in this whole process of you being with this beautiful team, and just the learning experience, or whatever you think is the biggest learning for you?
The biggest learning, I would say the biggest learning is to keep learning.
Right.
Very
That's a good answer.
I think education is the key to so many things. And if we just keep learning and keep educating ourselves, keep looking and seeking for more information, more awareness on whatever it is, regardless of if it's financial education or anything else, is just to keep asking questions, keep learning, keep being curious. No matter what age you are, there's always more to learn. And so we see that with the kids, that when they're asking questions, we see that with adults when they're asking questions, and keep learning. You're always going to move forward if you keep actively seeking more information and education.
Yeah, and you have that mindset. Thank you so much. So well said. It was a pleasure. I know it was a short one today, but it was so informative. And I hope that all the kids that joined this program end up like you, because you're such a delight. And I can't thank you enough for joining.
No worries. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.